It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, it's still Tuesday. You're still locked in. It's your feel-good breakfast show. And we're continuing our health discussion this morning with medical doctor turned entrepreneur, Dr. Mathobela Matjekane. And it's still with us, she's still with us, of course, and we're answering a few of the questions on the coronavirus in South Africa. And we want to say thank you to every individual who has sent through their questions via our social media platforms. And we are about to deliver you with the goods.
But it sounds like we've got a caller in right now. In fact, Cheryl, phoning from Cape Town. A very good morning, Cheryl. Hoping that you are well and virus-free at this stage. What is your question for the doctor?
My question is, if you've had coronavirus, will you get it again?
Very good question.
We have seen people that have got, I actually think have gotten it with the first wave, and I also got it again.
Wow.
So it's been shown that your immunity after you got it, it's about 3 months in your system. So meaning that's how long your antibodies stay long in the system. So you can still get it again.
So is it a matter of after 3 months, you're very vulnerable, or you start slowly becoming more and more vulnerable after
It's
that?
just where you were before.
Restart. Cheryl, so yes, you can contract the virus again. We've got another caller on the line from Pretoria.
Antoinette, I think.
Antoinette, a very good morning. Antoinette, what's your question?
Good morning. I've got a terrible sinus for everything that I get in contact with. And my question is, how do I know if I've got corona, if I've got this terrible sinus? Because of the sinus, I've got this dry cough in my throat. When must I know that I've got corona and not this sinus?
Okay, another very good question. So she suffers from severe sinuses. It sounds like from a multitude of things. When do we know? What are some of the other telltale signs that it might not just be her sinuses bothering her, but actually could be
Maybe
coronavirus?
if I can even jump on the story, G, but I do find often in my circles as well of people that maybe complain about a sore throat. To what extent then, if there are someone that's prone to sinuses, do they think, okay, this is definitely not sinus, this is corona?
Need to get tested.
Yeah.
Look, I think at the rate where we are, you don't know who you've been in contact with, who might have had corona. So it's very important that when the symptoms are persistent, if you are a chronic sufferer of, let's say, sinuses or whatever, if it's a bit out of the norm, and if it's lasting longer than it would usually be, I would say you need to get tested. And also just to find out from the people you were with, guys, did anyone test positive or what? Because there are apps that you can download that will actually tell you when one of your friends who has had COVID tested positive. It will actually send you an SMS to tell you that please be aware that you've been in contact with so-and-so, they tested positive, go and check yourself, or watch out for the following symptoms like loss of smell, headaches, fever, and all of that.
Okay, so maybe would sinusitis or sinuses not just be, it wouldn't be a standalone pointer, there would need to be other
symptoms.
symptoms
And
as
also
well.
just the change in their normal symptoms.
Okay. And then we've got Sandy on the line from Uitenhage. A very good morning, Sandy. What is your comment or question?
Good morning. I'd like to ask the doctor that if you have the COVID-19 vaccine, is it still necessary to have the flu vaccine and the pneumococcal vaccine?
Do you need to double up and add it to that? Do we need to have the vaccine twice? Do you need to have it administered twice? And if you've had the COVID-19 vaccine, once it does roll out, do you still need to have the other vaccines like the flu vaccine?
Okay, so with the flu vaccine, it's usually made seasonally. So every winter season, there's a new vaccine that comes out. So I think depending on where we are, our flu season starts around, our vaccines usually come around April, end of March. Then I think you could still have that because they're protecting two different
variants. Sure.
Yeah, two different variants.
Okay, and I think we've got another vaccine-related question.
And Corsi's on the line from Cape Town, I believe. And Corsi, you with us?
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your question, Nkosi?
Makosi, sorry. My name is Makosi.
Sorry, Makosi. What was your question for the doctor?
My question is about this vaccine. We've had some rumors about this vaccine that it makes people sick and it makes people very scared. And I'm the one of those people who's very scared. I'm very scared to take this vaccine. So I want to find out about these rumors. Are there people who got sick from this vaccine, or it's just the rumors?
I can see you shaking your head, Makosi. A very important question. Thank you so much for being brave enough to ask it. How do the vaccines actually work? Can they make you sick?
So basically, when you get a vaccine, we're trying to mount an immune response in your body so that next time when your body gets exposed to the virus, it's able to attack it. So that's how
the antibodies are there.
Yes, the antibodies are there to attack it. It's a foreign substance that is going to come in your body, obviously. So there might be some side effects related to that. So, of course, there's a whole lot of media frantic out there about the vaccine and the side effects thereof. It's a concern that we all have, but I think the most important thing is the government and the scientific world is doing what it can at its best to give us the best vaccine ever.
Maybe a good way to think about it is the vaccine might have side effects, the virus could kill you. So, let's weigh up those particular choices. Makosi, thank you so much. We've had a couple of great comments and questions coming through from our social media followers as well. Jeanette Rass saying, thanks for giving us the opportunity to ask the questions. Not a problem. I want to know, what is the first thing you do when you experience any of the symptoms associated with COVID-19? Do you get yourself tested? Do you phone your GP? Where do you go? What do you do? Please explain the steps forward from getting tested and waiting for the results. So break it down for us.
Okay. So if you suspect that you've got the symptoms of COVID-19, you would ideally call your doctor, because we also don't want to be exposed and to also be exposing our other patients in our rooms to the vaccine, to the virus. So what we would recommend is you call your doctor, and most of us, how we work is that when you call, you say, listen, I've got the symptoms. Most of the labs are not going to allow you to walk in with the form to get tested. They need a form that comes from the doctor.
You need to be referred.
Yes,
okay.
You need to be referred. So once you get referred, you get the form, you go to the particular lab, you get tested. The results take anything between 24 to 48 hours to come back.
All right, so don't run, don't panic, just stay at home, be calm.
Yeah,
and
keep yourself out of circulation.
And quarantine, because that's very, very important.
Isolate.
I love that. We've got another comment coming from Bongisiwe, Cynthia Duma, who says, why are some people passing away and some heal perfectly fine? I was looking at my neighbor last year who's a policewoman, and she healed perfectly. And she said it's like she had the flu, but nothing dramatic. And then my friend who works at a retail said it was like she had the flu and nothing else. I don't understand why some people are passing away. So I think the question is, why are some people getting so dramatically affected to the point where they end up dying and others are asymptomatic? What is the reason and why?
It has to do with how our body responds to the virus, and also the exposure, because if you have never been exposed to the virus at all, you don't have any immunity whatsoever. So, and also the viral load of the virus that attacks you. I think that's another debatable topic out there, to say the more the virus in your body, the more it tends to affect you, and the more, and also the contact, how close you are to a very, very sick person, which would come back to the viral load that you have in your body, as far as the virus is concerned.
It's probably questions that we could ask you maybe 4 years from now when you've had a chance to process the data. Let's connect now with Rudaport. Gordon is on the line. A very good morning, Gordon. What is your question?
Hi, good morning, guys. I'm Dr. Just want to first say compliments of the new year.
Thanks,
and then my question is, I suffer from depression and bipolar and that, and I found that in the time that it's been locked down and this whole corona pandemic, I've never been infected or anything like that, but I find that my depression is a lot worse than what it has been, and I just want to find out what is there that I can do to maybe just feel better.
For sure. I think you are not alone, Gordon. I think there are so many people struggling with this. I know we've dealt with the depression and anxiety group. That is a resource that I can say straight off the bat. There are people there ready to talk and offer assistance in terms of an emotional response. Is there a way that we can physically tackle depression? Because it must be skyrocketing at the moment.
Yes, definitely. I think it's also very important that people learn to switch off because there's so much. I mean, you open the news, it's breaking news.
It's overwhelming, yeah.
It's just overwhelming, especially for people that are already struggling with mental health. It becomes it's even too much for people that are normal. So imagine when you have other issues that you're dealing with and every day you're looking at the statistics going up, just learning to isolate from the media space, social media, and maybe finding other ways of distressing, exercising, and also visiting your healthcare professional to see if there's a way that your medication needs to be adjusted or things like that, or just, you know, finding other extra activities that you can do just to get your mind away from
just to
everything.
unplug a little bit. But
Yes.
I think ultimately if you need to see your healthcare professional or a healthcare professional for medication, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And again, I'll reiterate, SADAG, the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, are amazing as a resource just to have someone to talk to process a lot of what's going on, but maybe just unplugging a little bit. Well, Doctor, we know that your relationship with COVID is a very close one indeed, and we're going to get into your own personal journey as we continue this discussion. But stay with us. We're going to continue to delve into COVID-19 and the current state here in South Africa.